Good morning again, times two. We'll explain in 1 second. It is January 2nd, 2023. I don't have my blower, but it's still people, you celebrate the new year longer than just one day. We know that. This is Carol Sue, aka Naughty Boss, live on a lot of different platforms at the moment with two
Sistas. Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Janis, aka Wellness Diva 5.0. And as Carol Sue said, this is kind of our second introduction, of course, our formal introduction into our recorded podcast. We are also simulcasting through the Wisdom Audio app, and I want to welcome all of our live listeners currently on the Wisdom Audio app. Thank you so much for being here. And our format for today, of course, is Mindset Monday. And as before we even went on live on the Wisdom Audio app, we were, we do a little that, what's happening, this and that. So as I was, getting organized in my office, I like to make sure, especially with the new year, everything has got to be in its place. I'm kind of OCD when it comes to that. So I found this, my printout of my mindset transformation, which I've had for quite a few years. And I put it down, and then of course it gets lost in the shuffle, and then I can't find it. So of course I found it yesterday, and I just want to read the first sentence because I think it is so genuinely apropos going into 2023. Of course, we know that everything starts with our mindset. No matter what it is you want to achieve in life, what makes you happy, or how you hope things are going to turn out, it all starts with your mind.
Absolutely. And, a lot of people think, oh, they naturally got it together, or, oh, you have that friend that seems, no matter what you do, like she's super organized, or he is, very organized, or everything is just perfectly laid out. It takes work. Yeah, there's probably a few percentage of people that their mindset naturally kind of does that positivity automatically. But for the most part, it takes work. And the reason why it takes work is our mind, we're not even using the ability of really what our mind can do. We talk about, all the different senses, but there's probably more senses that we truly know about. And the point is, we are in a new digital world, a new digital age. And where we're surrounded by our devices, whether it's your cell phone, your iPad, your television, your computer, just getting those alerts over the phone. And
we froze up.
Mindset, it's constantly thoughts going in and out, in and out, in and out. And we know that energy in your mindset actually has electric currents, but you want to spark those electric currents with positivity, number one, but also good, constant good thoughts. And sometimes that's hard to do when you're getting all this adverse or disruptive electric currents coming through your alerts, your emails, your cell phone, all that stuff that I mentioned. And it actually takes effort into saying, you know what, I'm going to put my devices away. I'm going to go, whether it's pad to paper, whether it's putting on some music that is uplifting. For some, they're more visual, maybe a positive movie, kind of a cheesy movie. Cheesy movies have their places. You leave them thinking, okay, well, maybe those actors were B actors, but it didn't matter because, you felt good afterwards. You felt, maybe it was a love story, kind of a cheesy love story. Who doesn't like a cheesy love story? But it makes you feel good. That's the point. It makes you feel good. And when you feel good, that also, guess what, is currents that are going up to your brain that are going to give you that positive, good feel mindset. So mindset for some, yes, can be very simplistic. They just naturally, it comes to them, and other people have to work for it. It doesn't matter which way it is, but you got to have it. And when you have a positive mindset, a good mindset, you're going to be able, I believe, to achieve even those small stepping stones to the bigger goals in life.
Oh, absolutely. And, we think of those goals as shifts in our patterns and behaviors. So how do we, I guess the question would be for a lot of people, well, that's all great and good, but, how do you shift your perspective? Well, I'm just going to give you one quick example. For me, and I think I may have mentioned this before, and as you mentioned when you were chatting about mindset, is, all the alerts that we get. I turned off all my alerts on my cell phone, which, by the way, is why I'm behind on text messages and some other things, and I'll get caught up with that. But I found that for me, it was so distractive. It was so disruptive for me that I knew that I had to let that go. Of course, I have Ryan's number will come through no matter what. So I'm happy, obviously, that I did that. But whatever that little thing, and that really was a little thing that thankfully my stepson figured out how I could do that. He's a whiz at that stuff. But whatever it is for you, it may be something as simple as giving yourself the grace for, maybe 15 minutes in the morning when you wake up. For instance, when I wake up, don't talk to me. Like, I just need that time to just sit and wake up, and then I start doing my thing. So whatever it is for you, and it may be kind of a trial and error thing. Like maybe try getting up 15 minutes early so that you can have your 5 minutes of waking up and 10 minutes of enjoying your coffee, whatever it is for you, or listening to music, journaling,
Podcasts, let's not forget.
That's right, in our podcasts, of course. And
those are also important. There's so many, besides ours, there's so many great podcasts out there. Sometimes just you're having that conversation, whether it be through podcast or with a friend or whatever. People feed off of your passion. They feed off of your electricity. They feed off your energy. And that sometimes is the tipping point for someone to get out of their funk, to get out of their like, ooh, boo-hoo mood, and say, wait a minute, life is good. I want to enjoy it. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are not in our control, but geez, I can control my own space. I can control my own happiness. And it's got to start from me. And if it doesn't start from me, well, let me surround myself with other things that are going to help me along the way and not keep me in this down mode. So think about it. If you wake up in a stinky mood, a lot of people do because they're not getting a good night's sleep, which is paramount in your health and wellness. They wake up in that stinky mood, then they stub their toe, then they burn their toast, then they're stuck in traffic, then their boss, came on with this, project they didn't want to. Then you get a call from the school, your kid is sick, the doctor can't get you into later. Like this is a typical day for many people. So those are the things that are not in our control. But what's in our control to keep our mindset positive is how we act and how we react to those debacles and navigation journeys that we have to do in any given day, any given moment. Let's be real, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And which affects our moods, and which affects when you're in that moment, when you're in that mood. And I think we froze up a little bit. And we'll get her back in just a moment. When you're in that mood,
you were delayed a little bit earlier. But then it's like, you have your phone around because you're taking pictures. At the same time, you're getting the alerts, right? So you can adjust that by turning them off. And I think a lot of people, maybe because of where we are and what we've been through over the last few years, they're in fear mode to a certain degree, like they're going to miss out on something. And my thought process is on the breaking news alerts. Some of them, I think if you filter them out, most of them are not what I would consider breaking news. And I think for most people wouldn't consider breaking news. So the bottom line is, years ago, you'd either catch it on live news and there wouldn't be a replay of it. You would have to wait till the 6 o'clock. We had like 3 news cycles and that was it. Don't think you're going to lose out. Get that thought process out.
And we froze again.
Chances are somebody else is going to get the alert. Or as soon as you go back to your cell and put your alerts on, alerts eventually.
Yes. And what I was talking about before about the moods, what do we do when we're in a funk or we're in a mood? What is the one thing that people go to? The refrigerator or the cupboard.
That's true. It's called boredom eating. That does nothing for your mindset.
No, it doesn't. And how do you feel? Like, let's go through a Janis scenario, an old Janis scenario. Maybe I'm feeling sad about something and I go to the refrigerator. And how many times have you open the refrigerator within even a minute? You open it up, you're looking for something, you get frustrated, you slam the door shut, you go in the cupboards. Oh, there's the hidden bag of potato chips that I hid from everyone so that I can have them myself. You go reach up for it and you eat the whole bag. Yes, I've been known to do that, which is why I do not buy potato chips anymore, because I can't be trusted. And then you eat it and it feels so good when you're eating it. And the crispiness, the crunchiness, the saltiness. And then you're done with the bag and you feel like crapola. Was that really good for me? No. And you start that cycle of, gee, why did I do that? And then you beat yourself up. Like, I had to put a stop to that. That's not a really good feeling. It's okay for the moment. You feel good in that moment, but was it really worth it in the long run? No.
No, it's not. It's emotional eating, and we've all done that. But speaking of getting onto a healthier, path, starting off our new year, I actually started Thrive Elite. We've been talking about that now for probably about a month. We had our first date of pre-launch of the ordering, and that was on December 5th. I got my order in a little bit earlier. So I actually started on New Year's Eve day. I have to share, I love the packaging. So for those that are listening, you're not going to see this, but the packaging is a little bit different. I think the company's going that way. So first step is our lifestyle capsules. And I just like instead of the box, it's in almost like a Ziploc bag. So I like that, easier, lighter than the box per se. So obviously I'm still intermittent fasting. So I break my fast later in the day. Yesterday I did it a little bit earlier. I think it was about 12:30 because we had friends coming over. So I knew my eating pattern was going to be a little bit differently. That's what I love about intermittent fasting. You have flexibility, right? So yes, took the capsules. Second step was the lifestyle mix, full of all that goodness that our regular Thrive Classic has, but it has all the added ingredients for weight loss, which is all plant-based, all these different roots. And then, of course, I'm wearing one from yesterday. Let me get up. Our new DFT, which is about the size of our 10-year anniversary. Again, the same formula as our 10-year anniversary, but it has the added ingredients for weight loss. Now I started, so I'm keeping track of my journey and I'm sharing that. And so I started December 31st. And a lot of people said, well, day one, did you feel something? Yes, I did. I felt more energy, but the noticeable difference without the jitters, because a lot of times you do, some sort of weight loss program, and, a lot of people don't bother to check the ingredients out. I'm an ingredient person, so I do. No jitters, because sometimes you get like that jittery feeling. No jitteries, but a very calm, time release, all day suppressant. So I was literally not hungry all day. I did force myself to eat because you still have to eat. But what I noticed was just, I felt good. I had great energy, but I wasn't hungry. So I started out at 138 pounds. Today, because I'm going to do it first thing in the morning. That's really the best time that you should be, because your body's already in fast mode. It's a more accurate statement of where your weight is at, because you haven't filled it with water or food yet. So you always want to weigh yourself when you're in fast mode, which for most people is usually when you first wake up in the morning. So I started at 138, which is 4 pounds heavier than I was in December of 2021. So over last year, I put on 4 pounds, which is not a lot of weight, but not in the direction I want to go, like most of us. So now I'm officially on day 4, right? Three. Take that back, 3, because today's the second. I'm thinking today's the third, but it's the second. And I weighed myself this morning and it's 136.5. So which now I drink a lot of water, and I know, I eat fairly clean. I don't eat a lot of salts and that stuff like that. So, because a lot of people initially, they're getting off that salt water.
Mm-hmm. And we locked up again. She'll be back in just a second here. So she is describing, we are both with a company called Thrive by LaBelle, and she is giving us a glimpse at her. There you are.
Yeah, it's you've been freezing up all in and out of this podcast.
Yeah, we're both freezing up.
So the Weight Watchers app, which is great, it's a great way to kind of keep track of where you are with the different foods. So I downloaded that and put in all my Thrive Elite, and just getting a better idea, which I don't really necessarily need an app to know where I'm at, but
and this is the beauty of life.
So I really, ate very. Yes, it's still pretty in and out, but I ate very well, ate very clean, smaller amounts, felt great. So I'm excited. Day 3, and today I get to play some pickleball. I haven't played in a few days, so I'm excited.
That is awesome. And, that goes to show you, find something that you're passionate about. As everyone knows, I love kickboxing. And one of the things that one of the instructors that I really like to follow says, don't think of it as a workout, like think of it as that you're training. So I'm not working out. I am training to be better than I was yesterday, and hopeful that what I'm doing today is going to put me forward into tomorrow, into something better. So whatever works for you, let us know what has worked for you, and also what has not worked for you. What did you like about a certain thing that you did? What is it about your journey, about your goals, that maybe you find it difficult to maintain? As I woke up this morning, I was thinking of, for instance, as you mentioned, today is pretty much the legal holiday for New Year's Day for people that, work outside of their home. So I'm wondering, for instance, what does Planet Fitness look like right now? It's probably packed, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. That because everyone is, coming off of the holiday. They already have those fresh resolutions in their head, which, we've already talked about.
Solutions.
We want solutions. We don't want resolutions, because resolutions, you will find most people break them within 3 or 4 days. It's not a commitment. And I love the terminology, or the analogy that you made with, being in training, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're training your mind, you're training your body to be a better version than it was back in 2022. We want to leave that behind, but in order to do that, we have to have that right focus. So, I like the whole, I'm in training mode to be a better version of me.
I really felt that yesterday. So I'm back to my 2 workouts a day, which for, people say, why do you work out twice a day? That's kind of crazy. Well, I got into that mode when I was doing 75 hard. And by the way, I never did complete it because of what happened with my son. But what it taught me about those 2 45-minute workouts, that was my time. Whether I was doing the kickboxing, whether I was rowing. Yesterday in the Northeast, it was 55, 56 degrees. So my second workout was taking a nice power walk with weights, and that was tough, but you know what? It was beautiful being outside. So that works for me. What works for you? Would love to hear from our audience. You can, you can of course go to our website, which is www.TwoSistas.online.
Yes, we'd love to hear what is sparking you. What is, what are your goals for 2023? And I always say, when you're doing goals, make it in threefold. You have your kind of your weekly goals, your short-term goals, your long-term goals. Because I think when someone says, okay, I'm writing my goals, they're so big that they don't really comprehend, well, wait a minute, that's going to take me longer. I need some goals, and rightfully so, they should. Anything big and bold and whatever, with passion and desire is going to take longer to achieve. So you want to set yourself up successfully with understanding that I want some little goals too. I want things that are going to propel me to those bigger goals and keep me on track. And when you do that, you find more accomplished. You feel like, yeah, pat myself on the back. You come to that Friday of any given week and it's Fantabulous Friday and you say, oh, I did good. I achieved this goal. Hey, maybe the goal is cleaning out a closet. Maybe the goal is going through the old clothes from the past that you haven't worn, or digging out that outfit that you've been striving to get back into because it's something that stays in style. And that's going to be your motivation in your training process. That's the dress I'm training for. That's the jeans I'm training for. That's the skirt. That's the bathing suit, whatever it may be. That's what I'm training for, and have that visual. But, maybe the goal is cleaning out the closet. So I have all my vision within, because you got vision within your closet, people. You just got to be, I don't think out of the abstract, maybe have a rack of these are the clothes I'm getting into. These are the clothes, oops, they got to come off that hanger. They're out of style. They're too baggy. They're too big. They're way too tight, and something that's so tight and it's out of style. So maybe that was goals, reorganizing your closet to make it visually your own training facility within your closet. Maybe it might be going through the cabinet. What are the trigger foods that are not going to get me to that weight loss journey? Get rid of them, donate them, maybe give it to your neighbor. Maybe you got that skinny friend say, hey, you know what? I don't eat these things anymore. You want them? Or donate them to, whatever soup kitchen. Get them out of your house. You don't want to look at them. You want to, again, you're preparing for training. You're in training mode. You want visual things that are going to keep you on track and going to nourish you at the same time that are going to help you to achieve that goal. The other key piece is if you don't go to the gym, if you're not one of the crazy people that is piling right now into Planet Fitness or wherever it may be, set up a little exercise space within your home. It doesn't take much. You may have a yoga mat. Maybe you got some dumbbells.
And there we go again. Boy,
reorganizing your closet to get into training mode. Got to dust those dumbbells off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, which brings to a question, maybe we should share this. What is maybe a short-term goal for you that you'd like to achieve? And we froze up again. And we froze up again. And this is the beauty of live podcasting. Let's see what's going on here. Let me just double check the connections. Carol Sue, are you there? Let's see. All right, just bear with me a second here, folks. And we lost her. So on that note, I want to thank, here she is. Just bear with us a second here. Hey, there you are again. But she's still frozen.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, it's in and out.
Yeah. I think the Wi-Fi gods are like messing with us. I'm not sure if you heard my question, but let's share with each of us, excuse me, what is the short-term goal you have for yourself? Maybe it's just for this week.
Yeah, the short-term goal this week is to really reorganize my refrigerator. Obviously after the holidays, you got leftovers, you got this going on. That is a big thing for me because I'm one of those who opens up and I want to see exactly what I'm going for. I don't want 1,000 choices. I have specific things, specific food groups, all good stuff, nothing that, I'm not even, believe me, I'm not eating Karen sticks, people. I'm enjoying food, but I want it to be visually pleasing, which sparks that energy for, eating right.
Oh, I love that. So for me, I have a stack of papers and I digital file everything. So I want to make sure that I'm all up to date because I am a little bit behind in scanning. So I'll get caught up with that. And of course, my mind is kind of in, okay, let's start to get ready for tax season here. I want to make sure that that I'm up to date with everything by the end of January. So that's kind of I'm sharing a short term, but kind of a long term goal for myself. But yeah, that's what I'm working on this week. And of course, my 2 45-minute workouts. Definitely going to do kickboxing, and I should call it training because we were referring to it as training.
We're in training. We are in training, and we hope you are all in training for a better version of yourself. And guess what? Your future self will thank you for it.
It sure will. And on that note, we want to thank you so much, especially to all of our listeners on the Wisdom Audio app. Thank you so much for being here. I see some familiar names and some not familiar names. So welcome to everyone.
Welcome.
Yeah. And like I said, go to our website, www.TwoSistas, TWOSISTAS.online. You can leave us a voice message or send us in, send us in a contact form. And on that note, my name is Janis, aka Wellness Diva 5.0 Mindset Monday. Episode number 555, and I'm with two
sisters on this first Monday of the new year. Have that spark, have that energy. This naughty boss is getting her Thrive Elite on, gonna get some pickleball play in, gonna organize my refrigerator. We all have to do that. Like I said, we are only accountable to ourselves. Have that conversation with yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I can do better. I can be better. I know within me there's a better version of myself. But guess what? I got to start training. With that, we wish you a great Monday. Enjoy. If you are traveling, please travel. Make sure you pack your kindness and your patience. You're going to need it. We will see you tomorrow for Triumph Tuesday, which I know a lot of people are going to have to triumph over today's travel disasters. We're hoping that we're going to send out good vibes to everyone, that they travel well and with peace. With that, we'll see you tomorrow, Triumph Tuesday. Have a good day, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.